y plus 8 equals f, replace x with x minus 4. My rule was, before you do any answerings of things, make sure that you have it in y equals and a 1 in front of the x, correct? So the 1 is in front of the x, that's good, but I need to subtract my 8 over first. All right, my transformations, I'm going from equation to words, so it's going, my x's are going to flip, so my y's don't go. Vertical translation, 8 units what? Down. And to go 8 units down in mapping, I'm going to go x, y becomes y minus 8. You see I have a minus 8, 8 down, minus 8. Y's are the greatest. They don't change. Yay. So if ever on the diploma you're like, I should pick this one, the y changed. No. Slice through that. Y's don't change. Okay, we're going from equation to words. So your x's are going to change because equation to words goes across the arrow. So horizontal translation, 4 units what? Right. And to move 4 units right, I go x plus 4. Or I can say, hey, from equation to mapping, it's going to flip. So this is x minus 4, this is going to be x plus 4. Right? Okay, here it says the point 2, negative 3 lies on the graph y equals f of x. So that's the non-transformed graph. That's the original point. State the coordinate of the image of the point under the following transformations. Remember, if you're moving a coordinate or you're moving many coordinates, so a graph, you use mapping every single time. So I look at this and I say, oh, there's a 1 in front of the x, but I need to move my y to make it by itself. So now it's by itself. So I need to use mapping. So my mapping is going to be x, y, and I know some people are like, I can just do it in my head. Cool. You can't in about 3 days. So we're going to follow along so we do it correctly. Okay? X, y becomes, my x is by itself, so x just stays x. And then I have a minus 8. So what am I going to do to my y? Minus 8. Now, that's my original coordinate, correct? The OG. It goes in the OG spot, which is here. 2, comma, negative 3. And then we plug it in for x and y in the transformed, right? So we're going to get 2, comma, y is negative 3 minus 8. So my new coordinate is 2, comma, negative 11. You try B. Before we start this question, 2 things have to happen. Y equals, which it's not, so I have to add my 5 over. And a 1 in front of the x, which it is. It won't stay that way, so we always have to check for that. We're in the easier parts. So we're going to move a coordinate, we need to do mapping. X, y becomes. We're going from equation to mapping. So I'm going over the arrow, correct? I'm going over the arrow, my x's switch, yes? So if this is x minus 7, this is going to actually be x plus 7, and my y's will stay the same, y plus 5. And it's plus 7 because this is a horizontal translation, 7 units right. We agree? You see how if you don't know, you're going to guess 50-50 and the answer to both will be there. This is going to be a very bad exam. All right. So we have, what's your puberty there? You're welcome. 2 plus 7, negative 3 plus 5 becomes 9 and 2. All right. So unlike grade 11, where a lot of it is, here's the equation, give me the transformations. In grade 12, it might be, here's the transformations, give me the mapping, give me the equation. Or here's the equation, give me the mapping, give me the transformations. Or here's the mapping, give me the equation, the transformations. Or here's a graph and another graph, tell me what happened to it through equation, mapping, or words. So you have to be able to interchange them really, really easily and not mix them up, because it can be any way. Okay? We'll practice. It's not just going to be thrown at you. So for this one here, it says, write the equation of the image of y equals f of x. So I want the equation with the f and the mapping for each of these transformations. So try it out. I want the equation and mapping from the words. Go. If I have words, the easiest one to do first is actually mapping, because words and mapping are the same, correct? So I'm going to do mapping first. So I'm going to say x, y becomes, vertical translation 3 up. I'm going to go y plus 3. And then horizontal translation 4 right. I'm going to go x plus 4. I'm moving 4 right, correct? Now words and mapping, either one to equation, the x's are going to switch. So my equation is going to be y equals f x minus 4 plus 3. Because this moves 4 to the right, this is 4 to the right. Remember, mapping and equation are always opposites. Okay, this one says a horizontal translation, m units right. So I go xy becomes x plus m, because that's how I move right. And a vertical translation, p units down, y minus p. Go do my equation. I'm going to get y equals f. If I go from words or mapping to equation, your x are going to switch. So I'm going to get x minus m minus p. Then flip. All right, this one. State the transformations for the following equation, the one below. And then I want you to sketch it. If I want you to sketch that graph, we're going to move coordinates. When we move coordinates, we use mapping every single time, right? So I know that it might be easier not to, but that doesn't matter. We're going to talk about the transformations first. So what transformations does this have? Well, I have a 1 in front of my x, but I have to move my 2 over. So what type of transformations do I have? Yeah, horizontal translation. Yep. Horizontal translation, 3 units left. And a vertical translation. 2 units down. Remember, words and mapping are the same, correct? So if I want to do mapping on that, I want to horizontally translate it 3 left. XY is going to become x what? Minus 3, because that's how I move 3 left from on a coordinate. I want to move 2 down. Y minus 2. You can also compare the equation to mapping are opposites. Remember, we go over that arrow. They'll switch, right? So we know we're correct. We checked it twice. Now, we need to pull off coordinates. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, negative 7, and 2. It's going to become, plugging it into there, negative 7 minus 3, comma 2 minus 2. So it's going to become negative 10, 0. I know we run off the graph. Let's say this is 9, this is 10. Negative 10, 0, so it's going to be here. So I plot that dot. Then I go to the next coordinate and do it right away, plot it, and connect them. Because what happens is people will find all the coordinates separately and then go and connect the coordinates after, and they don't connect them in the right order, and you get a different looking graph. Same coordinates, different graph. Same coordinates where you're turning, but not all the same coordinates because it's a totally different graph, right? If the lines aren't right. So I'm going to do the next one. It's negative 5 and 2. Some people might say, well, I don't need mapping to do this. Yeah, you do, because we're practicing for when it gets harder, which is in 2 days. Negative 5 minus 3, comma 2 minus 2 becomes negative 8 and 0. So I plot that, and then I connect them, because they were side by side, right? But I know they're connected correctly. Then I do my next one. It's at 1, 2, negative 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. negative 3 and 4. So then that's going to become, I plug it in for the x and y, negative 3 minus 3, comma 4 minus 2, which becomes negative 6 and 2. Negative 6 and 2. Connect. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. I'm like, that doesn't move it down. Good catch. I was like, I ain't doing something right. So it's negative 6, negative 6. That makes more sense. Because I know it has to go over and down. I went over and up. I'm like, nope. Negative 6 and negative 6. Because we only have horizontal and vertical translation, the graph should actually look the exact same. It just should shift technically left and down, correct? I was trying to go up something weird. Okay, then we have 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 and 6. So it becomes 2 minus 3, comma 6 minus 2. Becomes negative 1 and 4. And we have 4 and negative 4. It's going to become 4 minus 3, comma, negative 4 minus 2, which is 1 and negative 6. And that looks like it's 3 left, 2 down. When you're done that, I'll come right back up. But these are mappings. It wants you to state the new coordinate and the transformations based off of the mapping and the new equation. New equation and transformations. So when you're done this, do examples. These are the coordinate. The original coordinate is negative 3 and 5 on the graph of y equals f of x. And then I want you to describe the transformations in the new equation because I gave you mapping this time. Proving to you that I can give you anything and ask for the other forms, correct? So, if I want to just find the new coordinate, cool, I have mapping. I can just plug it in. Negative 3, 5 becomes negative 3 minus 7, comma 5 plus 4. So it becomes negative 10 and 9. Now remember, a coordinate isn't a coordinate unless there's brackets around it. Some people drop those off. And in between mapping are arrows because the arrow in mathematics means becomes this, becomes this, becomes this, right? Okay. Now, if I do words and mapping are the same. Remember, words, mapping, same. And then over to equation, the x's switch. This is only with the x's. So if I do words, I'm going x minus 7. Well, that's a horizontal translation. 7 units left. And then a vertical translation, y plus 4 is a vertical translation. 4 units up. So remember, words and mapping are in the heart, correct? Words and mapping are the same. Seriously, if you have to draw that, please do, so that you don't mess it up. Now we're going to equation. From either words or mapping, it's going to be opposite for x's, yes? So we're going to have y equals f. Mapping my x is x minus 7. So here it's going to be x plus 7, and then plus 4. Someone just do... So this one We would have negative 3, 5. Becomes negative 3 minus 6, comma 5 plus 1, which is negative, it becomes negative 9 and 6. And then this is a vertical translation. 1 unit up. And a horizontal translation, 6 units left. And our equation, g of x, we're going back to that snorting thing that happened. G of x equals f, x plus 6 plus 1.
Hey guys, what's so funny?
Yeah, what's so funny? I want to know. Let's look at this one. We got to get through these so you can see your homework. So, everything we've dealt with so far has been f of x to some sort of f of x, correct? Yeah. These ones, if you look, this here is the equation y equals x to the 4. It's a quartic function. We will be dealing with these later. But currently, it's just the x4. Do you see there's no little f in it? If there's no little f in it, you could actually type both of these into your calculator and look at them, correct? We're not going to do that because we don't need to. We're going to add the 3 over. You guys have to stop. All right. Notice the equations don't have an f in them. You put these into your calculator. You have to state how the second equation has changed from the original. So we're going to do descriptions and mapping. So the only thing that changed is I have a plus 3 at the back. Is it with the x? No. If it was with the x, it would be in here. Is it with the x? No. No. So it's a vertical translation. Three units up. And my mapping would be xy becomes x comma y plus 3. Okay. So this one, guys, the only difference is this. Some people try and distribute and move it around. No, the 6 and the 6 are the same. The minus 3 and minus 3 are the same. The only thing that's different is the x minus 1. So it's a horizontal translation. One unit right. And in mapping, that would be xy becomes x plus 1, comma y. And we're going to flip over. We're only stating what has changed. Because the original graph is whatever it is, and then only moves if the numbers change. Okay. This one, I'm going to add the 2 over. Then I'm going to state what's changed. So both the 6 and the 2, because this was just an absolute value function. So I have a horizontal translation. We're going from equation to word, so it's going to switch. Horizontal translation, 6 units what? Right. Y's never change, so it's a vertical translation. 2 units up. And so my mapping will be xy becomes 6 right, so I'm going to go x plus 6. 2 up, I'm going to go y plus 2. So you do as you say. D. D is irrelevant that you know that that's a rational with a radical involved. That's completely irrelevant. All we care is what has changed. Well, this hasn't changed. This is with my x. This is not, correct? So it's a horizontal translation. One unit what? Left, yeah. Because we're going from equation to words. And a vertical translation, 5 units. Up. So we're going to get xy becomes x minus 1 comma y plus 5. If you don't know this stuff backwards and forwards, when I add reflections and I add stretches onto it, you're now not remembering a C-split. Then I add stretches and reflections, it becomes a disaster. We agree? All right. Try and do this. So here we have an equation. This, guys, look at this. This is where my x is. You see that? This is where my x is. This is where my x is. I could technically always put brackets around my x's if I want to, because that's where my x is. Yes? If there's a horizontal translation or stretches like we're going to talk about, or reflections like we're going to talk about, it has to go with the x. So in that bracket. If it's not in that bracket, it's not with the x. So this is a horizontal translation 3 right. So I need to go with my x. X minus 3 squared. You can't put it back here, because if I put a minus 3 back here, that's actually 3 down. So it can't go back there for minus 3. Your mapping is 3 to the right, so we go xy becomes x plus 3, comma y. Words and mapping are the same. If we look at b, b is y equals 10 to the x after a vertical translation 2 up. So I know I'm going to get y equals 10 to the x of some sort plus 2. And then a horizontal translation 5 left. So I'm going to have to go x plus 5. It joins my x. And it's the opposite because I'm going from words to equation. Mapping, words to mapping is the same. So if I want to go 5 left, I'm going to go x minus 5. And if I want to go 2 up, I'm going to go y plus 2. And then C, it's the square root of x. We want a horizontal translation 4 to the left. So it has to go with that square root. So underneath it would be where the x is. 4 left, I'm going to go x plus 4. And then it has to go 3 down, so minus 3 at the back. My mapping is the same as the words. So I'm going to get 4 to the left, minus 4, 3 down, y minus 3. And I just want to go over A. So this one says, the function represented by the thick line is a transformation of the function represented by the thin line. We're going to make the thin line be y equals f of x. Write the equation of the thick line. So I have to go from the thin to the thick. What did I have to do? So I went 1, 2, 3, 4 down. And then 1, 2 right. So if I went to write out my equation 4 down, I would get f minus 4. And I have to go 2 right. What am I going to get in my equation? X. How do I go 2 right? Minus 2. Your homework is the vertical and horizontal homework. Each one of these, this booklet, the homework booklet, corresponds to a title in your notes. Okay? So vertical and horizontal is here, to here, and then it goes to reflections. Reflections is the next set of notes. You don't do that. Just so you know, the worked out solutions are underneath the assignment I posted in Google Classroom. There's a vertical and horizontal solution, and there's a reflection solution. So pull the solution you need. You want to check it, because that's the only way you know if you're right.